I'm your Jackson County neighborhood reporter, Darius Udris. According to Jackson County, the ballot question here in my neighborhood would have increased the property tax bill on a $150,000 home by $19 per year. With all precincts reporting, the question failed.
That's right, Darius. I'm your Eaton County neighborhood reporter, Willem Mink, and according to Eaton County officials, the ballot question here in my neighborhood would have increased the average property tax bill for neighbors by about $18 a month. With all precincts reporting, the question failed. So what happens next in my neighborhood?
We took that question to Chairman Jim Mott of the Eaton County Board of Commissioners, the board that has the job of deciding on the future budget.
Well, I'm disappointed. We worked really hard to get the message out to the residents.
The message was that money for public safety could be at risk. In previous interviews with re-elected Eaton County Sheriff Tom Reich, he said cuts could affect his department.
Now, if I should lose, I'm going to lose a bunch of people on the road. They are in jeopardy of losing road patrol, and I'm very concerned about that.
That previously led us to ask who's available to answer 911 calls for help. My fellow Eaton County neighborhood reporter Travis Hicks previously asked Michigan State Police about the possibility of handling additional calls for service.
If it needs service, we're going to be there. We're going to provide the troopers to take calls for service, patrol on the freeways, and just keep doing business as usual.
Back with County Chairman Mott, I asked what cuts they will consider first.
Well, the biggest part of our budget is public safety, and the Sheriff's Department is a big part of that. So, unfortunately, and the sheriff is aware that a lot of the cuts are going to come from his office.
While cuts to the sheriff's office may come first, Mott emphasized that public safety is still a top priority for the county.
We're going to look at every option available to us to try to keep as many deputies and prosecuting attorney in the courts and up and running and keep them going.
As for what the county's next move is, Chairman Mott says voters may see another similar question on the ballot in a future election.
I believe we need to go to the voters again and get the message out there even more, because the county needs revenue.
Going back to voters looking for a different answer in the future.
That's what county leaders in my neighborhood say neighbors can expect with the failure of the ballot question. Now I want to send it over to my colleague and your Jackson County neighborhood reporter, Darius Udris. As mentioned, a ballot question failed in his neighborhood too.
Thanks, Will. The sheriff did not hide his disappointment. That said he respects the decision of the voters, including those he says told him they felt, quote, millaged out. But some decisions are now coming that will impact law enforcement in Jackson County.
There will be some cuts. The extent of which I don't know until the county commission informs me. But as I said before, I was told to prepare for $1 million in cuts, and I am in the process of doing that right now.
Schutte says he plans to balance cuts between road patrol and corrections divisions.
We will try to do some capital cuts as well to absorb as much as we possibly can, but that certainly won't carry the day. We will definitely have to make cuts to personnel.
County Commissioner Corey Kennedy is chair of the county's Public Safety and Transportation Committee. He did not confirm $1 million in cuts to the sheriff's budget, but he did say this.
The reality is about $1.5 million is going to need to be cut throughout budgets throughout the county. It is nearly impossible that the sheriff's budget won't be affected to some extent.
But Kennedy's words did seem to strike a gentler chord.
I can only speak for myself, but I think the majority of the commissioners want to spread it out as much as they can so that one department doesn't feel all the burden.
Sheriff Schutte says a meeting is planned for Friday to talk with county officials about how much money he will have to cut from his budget. I'll have any updates on what it could mean for public safety here in my neighborhood. In Jackson, Darius Udris, Fox 47 News.